Stop everything right now because our future is hanging by a thread and the news coming out of Bank of America Stadium is absolutely explosive. We are talking about Bryce Young and a massive gamble that could either save this franchise or burn it all to the ground. Rumors are swirling that Dan Morgan is playing a high-stakes game of chicken with our franchise quarterback, and the timeline just shifted in a way that feels completely desperate. You won't believe what I just found out about this contract situation. This changes everything we thought about this rebuilding season. Look, before we dive into this absolute madness, I need to talk to my real ones, the ones who bleed black and blue every single Sunday. We are building a tribe here, and we are chasing a goal of 3,000 subscribers because this community is the heartbeat of the Carolina Panthers. If you believe in this team and you want the truth that the mainstream media is too scared to tell you, then hit that button right now. We are in this together. Now listen to this because a report just dropped from Joe Person at The Athletic that is sending shockwaves through the entire league. It claims the Panthers are going to sit on their hands and wait until after the 2026 season to even think about extending Bryce Young. Think about that for a second. We are talking about 2 more years of the Young experience before they commit a single extra dime to the guy we traded the farm for. Now, I looked everywhere for a direct quote to back this up, and honestly, it is hard to find the original source, which makes this feel like a shadow report. But here is the thing. Even if the report is a ghost, the logic is terrifyingly real. The locker room is feeling the pressure, and you can sense the tension in every move Dan Morgan makes. We watched them go through a free agency frenzy where they spent money like it was going out of style, but they did not touch Bryce's deal. That speaks volumes about the level of uncertainty inside the building. Our quarterback is fighting for his life out there, trying to prove he is the face of the franchise while the front office is basically saying, show us more or else. It is a gritty situation, and honestly, it is a bit heartbreaking to see a kid with that much talent standing on such shaky ground. Do you really think Dan Morgan is doing the right thing by making him wait? Is this how you treat a #1 overall pick, or are we watching the slow-motion collapse of the Bryce Young era before it even truly begins? This is about legacy and grit. But wait, it gets even crazier than just a delayed contract, because there is a massive catch that nobody is talking about. Here is the raw truth that they do not want you to know. The Panthers are essentially betting against their own success. If Bryce Young actually turns into the superstar we all pray he becomes, we are going to pay through the nose for this delay. We are talking tens of millions of dollars in leverage that we are just throwing out the window. It is a calculated risk that feels like a punch to the gut for a fan base that has already suffered enough. My heart is racing just thinking about the financial nightmare this could become if he lights it up this year. But then you look at the other side and you feel that cold chill of concern. What if he does not improve? What if the regression we saw at times is actually who he is? That is the pivot that keeps me up at night. We want to be excited. We want to believe that Coach Canales is the quarterback whisperer who will unlock the beast inside Bryce, but the team is acting like they are terrified of being tied down to a sinking ship. It is an emotional roller coaster where one minute we are shouting from the rooftops, and the next we are holding our breath every time he drops back to pass. They are playing it safe because the scars from the last few years are still deep and bloody. We have seen failed project after failed project, and the front office is clearly traumatized. They are protecting the books, but at what cost to the chemistry and the confidence of our leader? It feels like we are watching a high-stakes game of poker where the pot is the next decade of Panthers football and the house is playing with our emotions. I want to trust the process, I really do, but this feels like we are walking a tightrope over a pit of fire. If this goes wrong, we are looking at a total reset that would devastate this city. If it goes right, we might be the smartest team in the room, but the tension is becoming absolutely unbearable for all of us. Now let us look at the competition because this is where the redemption arc gets complicated and the threats become very real. We are looking across the league at guys like CJ Stroud who are already being talked about as the next legends of the game. The fact that Houston is not rushing to extend Stroud either actually gives our front office a shield to hide behind, but the situations could not be more different. Stroud has the production, and we are still searching for consistency. This is the moment where the narrative either becomes a story of legendary triumph or a historical disaster. If the Panthers wait and Bryce starts throwing dots and winning games, his price tag is going to skyrocket like a Falcon Heavy rocket. We are talking about a bargain that could have been $30 million turning into a $60 million nightmare. I am trying to be the insider you trust here, and the honest truth is that the Panthers are stuck between a rock and a hard place. They rightfully believe in his talent, but they cannot commit to 23 touchdowns and 3,000 yards as a ceiling. They need to see the jump. They need to see the fire. They need to see him take over a game and dominate the NFC South like we know he can. But man, the risk of doing it now is just as scary as waiting. It is a classic redemption story where the hero has to prove he belongs before he gets the crown. I am losing my mind trying to figure out which path leads us back to the Super Bowl. Are we being too cautious, or are we being smart? The rest of the league is laughing at us, waiting for us to fail, and that just fuels my fire even more. We are the underdogs and nobody believes in Bryce except us. We are standing in the gap for our guy while the management plays the long game. It feels like a cinematic climax where the music is swelling and everything depends on one final drive. We need Bryce to be the man, but we also need the team to have his back. It is a balancing act that could define the next 20 years of our lives. Seriously, I am losing my mind here because in a perfect world, we would have signed him to a $30 million deal yesterday and called it a day. That would have been a total steal. Imagine Bryce Young playing like an all-pro while making half of what the other top-tier quarterbacks are earning. That is the dream scenario that would allow us to build a literal powerhouse around him. We could buy the best offensive line in football and give him weapons that would make the rest of the league weep. But we do not live in a perfect world. We live in a world where he is on his second head coach and his third play caller in record time. We live in a world where he was benched for half a season and had to watch from the sidelines. That kind of trauma changes a player, and it definitely changes how a front office views their investment. I have a theory that only a true member of the Panthers nation would understand. I think Dan Morgan is actually trying to protect Bryce from the pressure of a massive contract while he finds his footing. It sounds crazy, right? But think about it. If you give him the bag now and he struggles, the fans and the media will eat him alive. By waiting, they are keeping the expectations manageable while he grows under Canales. It is a fast-paced game of chess, but the emotional reflections are heavy. We are talking about a kid who has been under the microscope since high school, and now he is the center of a reconstruction project that feels like it is taking forever. The roster is better, the protection is better, and the coaching is finally stable, but the uncertainty of the contract is the final piece of the puzzle that refuses to fit. I am torn between wanting him to get paid and wanting the team to stay flexible. It is an unbelievable situation to be in as a fan. We want the bargain, but we also want the guarantee of excellence. Every time I think I have it figured out, another piece of news comes out that flips the script. We are riding the lightning here, and I just hope we do not get burned. When you look at the big picture, this whole situation is a testament to the grit and the struggle of the Carolina Panthers. We are a team that is fighting for respect in a league that wants to see us stay at the bottom. This decision to wait on Bryce Young is the ultimate gamble on the future of our franchise. It is a move that shows either extreme confidence in their scouting or a terrifying lack of faith in the current product. But I choose to see the vision. I choose to believe that this path leads us to a championship where we look back and realize that the struggle was necessary to build the character of a champion. We are rebuilding something special here, and it is not going to be easy or cheap. Now I want to see your fire in the comments below, because this is where the soul of the fans truly lives. Do you think Dan Morgan is a genius for waiting, or is he setting us up for a financial disaster that will haunt us for years? I want to know if you still believe in Bryce as our franchise leader, or if this contract delay has you worried that the end is near. We need to hit that goal of 3,000 subscribers to keep this fire burning and show the world that our tribe is the loudest and the most loyal in the entire NFL. This is our year to prove everyone wrong, and it starts with us standing together against the noise. We are the ones who show up when the stadium is cold and the scoreboard is ugly. We are the ones who never give up on the dream of a ring. So give me everything you have got in the comments and let the world know that we are not going anywhere. This is our team, this is our quarterback, and this is our journey. No matter what happens with the money, we stay loud and we stay proud. Panthers Nation.